All right. Welcome to the official graduation ceremony for Military Order of the Purple Heart in Reading Software's software development course. We're gonna begin with Kevin. So, Kevin, I like to say a few words about you, and then I'll turn the floor over to you in order to talk about your experience at the program and just whatever you want to say. All right. So Kevin has been an extremely dedicated member, as all of you have been, but Kevin kind of stood out by having previous programming experience and quickly really understood all of the uh, material and was eventually promoted to my old position of Chief Information Officer of the Military Order of the Purple Heart when we had the current Chief Information Officer had medical issues. He stepped up into that role and uh, filled it really well and is still filling it and just took on the position, made it his own, and is doing great things. So, Kevin, with that being said, so I'd like to now present you with your certificate of graduation and then your letter of recommendation. So I will post that in the chat for you. All right, your graduation certificate's in there, and then I'll put your letter of recommendation in there too. Kevin, the floor is yours if you want to say a few words.
All right, thanks, Brandon. This program was a really good introduction to web development. It gave me a good grasp on what needs to be done to build web pages and to run web pages, as well as handle databases. And it was really helpful to my webmaster role with the MOPH. As far as everyone in the class, everyone's done a great job, and I really look forward to seeing what everyone does in the future.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Did you have anything else you want to say?
Nope, that's it.
All right. Well, let's go around the room and have people talk about Kevin. Adam, do you have anything you want to say?
Sure, thank you.
A chance to say goodbye too. I mean, you guys might be able to connect on Facebook and everything, but just what you thought of him and all that jazz.
Well, first off, thank everybody for making this possible. Thank you, Brandon, and thank you, Kevin, for your help along the way. Patricia, I know we worked on some things together, and I think you did a great job helping us out. Mike, absolutely. I think you and I were working on something earlier, and I don't think I ever really managed to make it come to fruition about the whole writing thing that we were doing. And
yeah, by the way, on that note, man, I'm always available for that. So just message me back anytime and we can continue where we left off.
Excellent. I would like to do that.
I want to get that to you, yeah.
Absolutely. Mark, Brian, Samantha, Roger, thank you so much for your input on a lot of the things that we were working on together. Tim, I mean, this program is just really, really wonderful. And I started it with the hope that this is something that's going to change my life. And I feel that I've learned skills, and I feel that I can actually take what I've learned here and actually try to attempt to make my life different in a good way. And I'm just so grateful for everybody and for everything. And I'm very, very humbled at this opportunity that I was chosen for this. So thank you, everybody. And it's been a great time working with everybody.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, Adam. Okay. Well, now we'll move on to Mike. Oh, and actually, I was just thinking about it. It'd be better if I email you these because then you'll have a copy of each of them. So if you could all put your emails in the chat, then I will just email them to you right after this. But yeah. All right. Adam, I'll say a few words about you. Adam really wanted to be in this program. He is a teacher, he works full time, and he basically didn't beg, but he twisted my arm to get me to accept him in this program, because it was supposed to be, you're here every day and you can only miss so much. But Adam, at the beginning part of the class, since he was teaching, he wasn't able to make it during those hours, and he'd usually come the second half of the class. But he would work on his own, and he'd watched all the videos that we posted online of the training, and he did his training that way without being able to ask questions like in the moment. He just had to hope the right questions were asked or else reach out to me to ask questions. And he did reach out quite a bit. We met a few times on Zoom to get together to answer questions. So I know he was doing everything because he was having the questions, and was completing his coursework and everything. So, great job, Adam. I appreciate you being here and wanting to be here so much and finding ways to make it work in the hours that you had available. So great. Would anybody like to say anything to Adam? And I guess instead of going around the room and having everybody say something, we'll just open it up. Who would like to say goodbye to Adam, or whatever you want to say to him? Just go ahead.
Adam, I thought you always were someone who came in with a positive attitude every day. And even when your schedule was a bit conflicting with everything, you still found a way to come in, ask questions, try to catch up. And it was just, from my standpoint, I thought you put in a lot of effort and it was appreciated.
All right.
Yeah, you were definitely enthusiastic to be here, and thought it was pretty cool how you were always up for the challenge. You're like, oh, I'm gonna try to do this. So
Okay, anybody else?
Yes. I also would like to say almost exactly the same thing as Sam did, because he was like always helpful, and he was eager to learn, or is eager to learn, and everything. It was nice working with him.
Yeah, it was really enjoyable working on the group projects with Adam, because like he was the go-getter, always wanted to take on the harder task and always managed to get it to work somehow.
All right. Anybody else have anything?
It was fun. I got something. It was fun working with him. We did the ABC project. I was always behind, but he knew what to do, and we did extra work in the evening, and it was good working with him and the team. So thank you, everyone.
All right. Anybody else?
It was good working with him too. I don't know what we did, but we did something.
Right on, Brian.
All right. And now I want to give everybody, I don't want to skip over Kevin because we were originally just having Adam say something about Kevin, but kind of got moved around, but it's all good. So if anybody would like to say goodbye to Kevin and whatever you want to say about Kevin, go ahead. Floor is open.
I'd say something about Kevin. Kevin was a genius. He hooked it up.
Yeah.
He was always on point and always knew what we were talking about. I had boot camp experience, and this guy's experience was able to lead and direct what my confusion had with just learning software. So Kevin was a mad scientist, and I really appreciate his work. And I'm glad he's the new IT guy with the MOPH. I really look forward towards what the MOPH becomes because of Kevin and everyone else at Reading Software and Reading Corporation. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you, everyone.
All right.
Kevin, I
And-
think you always
Yeah.
always stepped up, always helped out. Even when in the beginning, when I had a hard time wrapping my head around some of the JavaScript things we were doing, you would send me little tutorials or explanations of how we got to the solution. And I always appreciated that because in the beginning I did find some frustrating moments and you helped kind of get me through those. Not to mention the 17 hats you've been wearing in the class. I'm sure everybody can appreciate the work you put in. So I appreciate it. And if you ever need a hand with some boring parts of MOPH, just volunteer stuff, I'm happy to help out.
And that's a big ditto for me too, Kevin. Thank you so much for all your help and the little side notes and everything. And you're really taking the time. We met a couple times in the evening, and you really helped me out, and thank you for that.
Yeah.
I have to concur as well. Kevin, you definitely showed your leadership in this class and helping us all out when we needed it. And really appreciate the long talks too during the course.
Yeah, I also agree with everything everyone has said so far. And I'd like to personally thank you too for always like helping out troubleshooting. And when I had an issue, I could like write you and you'd help out wherever you could. And you always actually helped out. Who am I kidding? But like, yeah, it was awesome. Thank you so much. And yeah, I wouldn't miss this class for sure.
No, at first I thought Kevin was a know-it-all, but turns out he turned out to be a very good lifesaver.
Turns out he actually was a know-it-all.
Yeah, it was.
You were definitely really encouraging in the beginning too, because I remember when everybody was kind of having a hard time, everybody had like the blank faces, and you sent an article or something about like why coding is so hard. And I remember I read that and I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep going. So
Kevin, I think you should change your resume to have like testimonials like all those brands do, like good quotes. He's a genius, a mad scientist,
Yeah, there you go.
For sure.
Maybe I'll task you out to write that for me, Mike. Yeah, thank you, everyone. I was just trying to do my best, and I know what it's like to struggle. And if I had answers, I wanted you guys to know that there's always a way to get through this. We'll just work at it together. So thank you all.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay, in that case, we'll move on to Mike. So Mike stood out. He stood out to me as a really hard worker and a leader from the very beginning. That's why I put him in as the project director role, because Mike really like he spent a lot of time outside of class researching and working on his resume project. I think you ended up having to do it twice, right? Because it accidentally got deleted.
I did. It was actually much easier the second time. But I
Hopefully, yeah.
did do it again, yeah.
Yeah, hopefully you gained some experience after through the first one to make the second one easier. But still, even after going through that, you didn't just give up and quit. You worked on it, did it all over again, and just always researching, like always going to new like practice sites to practice things, doing programming drills outside of class, doing just the most. And I really enjoyed having you in the class. I appreciate your hard work and dedication. That was I think that'll serve you well in the future. And I know it definitely served you well in gaining your programming skills, because you just seem to really have it down, and just good stuff. Mike, I'll turn the floor over to you.
Appreciate the kind words, Brandon. I did try to put a lot of effort into this. I wish my life hadn't have been so hectic on that last half. We did a lot of moving. My wife's a travel nurse, so we were kind of in a couple places, and I felt pulled from a lot of directions. But at the end of the day, I actually gained a whole lot of information and knowledge from this class, and the practical exercises we would do. It just kind of helped put things together, coupled with trying things on my own. And I truly think the last 12 months has helped me, and it's going to help me moving forward. So thanks to everybody in the class, Kevin, Adam, all you guys, Tim, the time we met after class. I mean, hopefully it was helpful. So I had a good time and I appreciate it. And hopefully this will just continue to move forward.
All right, and I'll open the floor for whoever would like to say things about Mike.
Yeah, I like to speak about Mike. Mike was a leader. He spearheaded us in the right direction, especially when we did that project with ABC. He was always the go-to guy. Yeah. Mike is I like Mike a lot. I hope we get to work together still in software and do something for the order. So for the good of the order. Thank you, Mike.
Yeah, Mike, once again, I appreciate everything you did, and I appreciate the way that you helped me out with some of my code that I couldn't get working right. And you took the time to really help me out and hammer it down. And then also on the side note that you were actually helping me out with that article thing that we were working on and everything. So again, I appreciate that. And yeah, I'm going to take you up on that offer to maybe sit down and maybe chat and figure some things out. But thank you for all that you do and all that you've done. You've been a huge part of my success.
I remember in the beginning, when we were doing like solo learn, you always asked questions, and it was the questions probably that everybody was wondering but was too scared to ask. So you would ask and it would clarify everything. So that was really nice. And you seem pretty diverse in your talents because you even do graphic design. I think that's pretty cool. So.
Sorry for all the questions. I knew when I was asking them
No,
that
they were
people
helpful.
I appreciate that you asked the questions, because then it is answering things that I knew people were wondering, just like Samantha just said. So it helped me know what to cover more on and stuff. So I'll leave the floor open for whoever wants to.
I just wanted to say it was great working with you, Mike. I know you've got a lot of established goals already. You've got apps on marketplaces already on the Apple App Store. You have a lot going for you, and I think this class is really going to launch your career.
Thanks, Kevin. I appreciate all your help along the way, and I really do mean it. If you ever need a hand, just any monotonous stuff, things pile up and you want a hand, I'm happy to help. Just volunteer for the foundation however I can.
Okay, anybody else want to say anything about Mike?
No, I think that was all summed up at the beginning.
Okay. All right. Moving on to Samantha. So, Samantha, you were one of the more quiet people in the class, but I knew you took it really seriously and were working really hard. I know you're going to do great wherever you go, wherever you get hired. And I know there was one point you were kind of struggling and thinking of not finishing the course, but you, instead of just quitting like so many people did, you gave it one more shot, and it really paid off because then you were able to finish out the course and do everything. So I'm glad you stuck around. I'm glad that you um, finished the course, and I hope just hope the best in your future endeavors and everything.
Yeah, I
Um,
appreciate you reaching out when I didn't show up to class for a while, because probably wouldn't have came back if you didn't reach out. So
well, the floor is yours. What if you'd like to say anything?
yeah, this year really kind of flew by. And I definitely appreciate everything that I learned in this class and your willingness to answer everyone's questions and go over things over and over again. And I also think that in the beginning too, I think it was like the first day or first or second day, you kind of challenged a little bit and you said, not everybody's going to be here in the next few weeks. I was like, well, now I have to be. So that was funny. But yeah, this is definitely the beginning for me. I still have a lot more to do, and this was a good like kickoff for everything. So
Yeah, absolutely. 'Cause once program, you cannot learn everything there is to learn about programming because there's too much.
Yeah.
So you really, once you get into the work field, it's going to be a whole nother animal, because then you're going to have to learn what you need to do for the specific job and stuff. Like you got a good base and a good understanding of building websites and web-based design and everything, but you always find more. There's like I'm still learning all the time. Like whenever I want to do something new I've never done before, I'm like, okay, well, let me figure that out. And also, if any of you guys ever get in those situations and you need help, feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy to help. Even though the course is over, it doesn't matter. I'm still willing to help any of y'all. So, all right. I'll open the floor for who would like to say things about Samantha.
Samantha, you like someone said earlier, you were always quiet. But I noticed you were always in there and you were always up to date when he would call on you or bring something up. You kind of always stepped up and handled what you had to handle. So good job on seeing it through, and I hope you have success moving forward.
thank you.
Yeah, there's a big ditto to that, and it just speaks of your character, the perseverance and the dedication that you're showing, especially when you come to that time or that space, and you think it's overwhelming, but it's your drive, and it's that perseverance that you show that really speaks of who you are and moving forward. And I have no doubt you're going to actually really be able to take this and take it to the next level and just really, really do well.
Thank you.
I'd like to say something. Thank you for your hard work and dedication. Thank you for sticking it out. I'm glad you're here, and I hope you become and evolve more with why you did this. When someone says, "Why did you become a software developer?" I hope you know why, and I hope you get to make more people join what you do, because you stick it out and everyone is going to follow that, and you're a good leader because of that. So thank you for and thank you for being a software developer.
Oh, thank you. Same to you.
I'd also like to say, I think it's great you stuck it out and you just completed it. And of course, I didn't really get to know you too well because we only worked on one project together. But during that time, I thought it was really nice. And yeah, and I wish you lots of luck.
Yeah, Sam, I just wanted to say it was good to see you come back. I was kind of worried there when the two people that were signed up for my team both stopped showing up to classes. So it was good to have you come back. And the one thing I can say is any task I gave you, whether I gave you a lot of direction or no direction at all, you didn't hesitate and you completed that task to the fullest. So thank you for that.
Well, Samantha, we didn't do anything together, but I give you some word of advice that the fact that you came back meant a lot. It really did, because I saw these people just disappearing from the little board there, and I'm like, oh, she's gonna come back. She's gonna come back, and eventually he came back. But I think that right there is just something you need to strive for, and I mean that's something I've always done as a leader, is just encourage people to just stick it out no matter what. It doesn't work on my kids, but it works on other people.
Thank you.
Anybody else? Okay. All right. Then we will move on to Brian. Brian, another one that I really stuck out as a real, you'd be good in a leadership role. That's why I put you in the leadership position, because thought you'd be good for that. You're always there to speak up, to ask questions, and like answer. Like if I call for an answer or whatever, you've been there to be like whatever answer whatever the question may be and stuff. And so I really appreciated having you in the class, and I wish you the best in everything you're gonna be doing. The floor is yours, Brian.
Well, let's just say I didn't know anything about coding, but it's something I fell in love with in this class. It's something I guess, maybe naturally good at. I don't know, but it's something I want to pursue now, and it's come a little easy to me. I don't know why, but that just means it's something I want to do. So I'm just going to pursue it the best I can. And I give advice whenever, people come to me give advice. That's what I do.
All right. Well, who would like to say something about Brian?
I'll go ahead. We would always work together on many projects, and he was always a great asset. He would when I had any like questions or anything or something, he'd always help out to the best of his ability. And yeah, and I really liked working with him, and I wish him lots of luck. And I know he'll do a great job, because I always thought that he was really good at everything he was doing, like what we've learned in the class, like I'd say like probably better than me. He really, I think, took a liking to this class. It was really good. Yeah. So yeah, I wish him lots of luck.
Brian, I thought you were somebody. I'm actually surprised to hear you didn't do this before class or didn't know anything about it prior to this class, because you always seem to pick everything up pretty quick, everything we learned, and you were always involved and you're always consistent. So I think if you choose to continue with this, you're going to do well.
Thank you.
Yeah, Brian, there was I think there was a couple projects that we worked on as well, and it was you were always willing to help, and that's something that I'll remember about you, is that you were always willing to help no matter what it was. And that again, that just speaks of who you are. And that's something that is that kind of support that helps people like me and Samantha and some of the other people who are on these projects. It provides a resource for us, and you just really helped us out along the way. Thank you for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it seemed like you also like never missed a day, and you're always here early, because I would always come in early too. And I think you were always there early with me too. Seemed like you were also like willing to Google things and just kind of like bring other subjects into class too. So that was interesting that you would bring other things up and kind of things that maybe we didn't think about. And yeah, it seemed like you picked it up pretty fast. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I'd like to say thank you as well. I mean, even during our classes when we were getting stuck and we're sharing our screens. You're willing to help us out and give us hints. And so yeah, that helped me a lot as well. And I really appreciate it. Thank you.
For me, it was when you did the triangle. When we did the triangle a couple weeks ago, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and you knew the answers, I was like, this guy's a genius. I had to like look it up and copy and paste, and you was like memorizing it. So I'm glad you know how to do this. We need these kinds of leaders around, and you're one of them. So thank you, Brian.
Yeah, Brian, I'm surprised to hear that you came into this with no coding knowledge. You definitely tricked me. But you were eager to learn. You're always there to answer the questions when we'd have that 1 to 2 minute silence of Brandon asking for someone to answer a question. You'd definitely chime in, give an answer. And I just wanted to let you know, for the gallery that you created for the MOPH site, I didn't forget about it. I do have it. I have all the code you wrote, and it's going to look absolutely amazing when I get it implemented. And I'll definitely shoot you an email when it's there so you can see it live. Thank you.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything? Okay, then we'll move on to Roger. Roger, so I wouldn't say you were quiet in the class, but just more reserved. I definitely heard you talk a lot more. But are you there, Roger? Oh
Yeah,
okay.
I had to switch headphones a couple times. I don't know what's going on.
Oh,
I keep
okay.
losing the feed.
Yeah, but you've definitely been a hard worker. You did good on your projects. You did you're able to get through everything, understand all the material, and it was great having you in the class. And yeah, so with that, I will turn the floor over to you. What would you like to say, Roger?
Actually, like Brian, when I first started, I had zero knowledge of coding or what I was getting myself into, and like everyone's kind of said, you're still learning. Like I'm still learning how some of the strings work and whatnot, but we're coming in with zero knowledge. I have a feeling I'm going to be learning a lot over the next few years still. But everyone has been great in offering support and help, and whether it be Google or Google searches, or even when we had the issue with ABC pickup when we first started for the first 2 weeks, trying to figure out how to get it to even just look at it online. We kept running into issues, and Adam and Mike would always figure it out some way, and then something else would break, and then we just always had to think on our feet, and it makes it really interesting and fun. And I'm really glad that I was in here learning about this stuff, and I think it's really pointed me in a different direction in my career path now. So I'm glad I was accepted, and that I did it. And I'd like to thank all you guys for helping and answering questions when I couldn't figure things out.
All right. Thanks, Roger. Who'd like to say some things about Roger?
I'd like to go ahead.
Yeah.
I didn't really get, I guess, a chance to work on many like projects with him, but I did notice like during the training portion of the program where I always felt like he like caught on really quick, like in certain like areas. And I always thought, wow, like he's catching on quick, especially I believe like with zero prior knowledge, just like Brian did, like those two are like always I always thought, and Mike were always really good at everything and like just caught on. And yeah, and always amazed me. So like I wish him lots of luck, or wish you lots of luck. Yeah. And
Thanks.
yeah.
Yeah, Roger, I want to say that when we were working on iLibrary, and there were times when I think it was just me and you were on the thing, and then it was actually really cool working with you. You always had good things to say, but I think it's more of, you don't really talk unless there's something to be said. Like I noticed that you stay quiet unless you feel like there's something that's important to say, and that's when you kind of say it. And I appreciate that. When me and Mike and you were working on iLibrary, and same thing with Patricia, and you were always there, tracking along. And you know, I was struggling. I was struggling. Like I was tracking like a $3 VCR. I was struggling, and but I gotta say, you were right there, and you were helping me along the way. So I thank you for that.
Thanks.
Yeah, I'd like to say something. Yeah, I remember iLibrary. iLibrary was tough trying to get the book with the QR code and make it function with one page. This cascading style method we had with it. It was a good time, and it was good teamwork with you, Roger, and Mike and Adam and Sandra, and it was a very good time to collaborate and make moves with software. So thank you for sharing.
I don't know if it was a good time at first, but it was frustrating.
Well, you got through it, and that's the important part. Be prepared for plenty more frustration to come, for years to come of programming. But it gets a lot easier, but you'll still run into frustrating moments like, why will this not work?
That happens every day still.
All right. Anybody else want to say anything about Roger? All right. We'll move on to Tim. Tim, I really appreciated having you in the class. You're always happy and upbeat, and you're on it with questions and everything. And I think you really picked it up, and you'll do great things. So with that, the floor is yours, Tim.
Hey, thank you for accepting me, Brandon. Thank you for Redding Corporation. Thank you for the MOPH. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you know, and how you spread knowledge and share it. It's because of you I know what I know. When I knew software development, I always knew about video games. You were like, it's not the same. You gotta go to Activision and apply to them. And I was like, man, but I really grasped software. I'm gonna try to keep doing it. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. Maybe with rap music, maybe with hip hop, maybe just overall try to find entertainment and use my skills now because I know what I know. I feel my HTML is a little bit behind compared to my Java because when I got to the software, we started in October, I had to go to headquarters because I was the new national finance officer, and you allowed my time and busyness, and then I was able to catch up with watching the videos, and by December, January, I was on point. And it was a good time. It was really flew by, and I'm glad I did it. I'm glad I was accepted, and I'm glad I'm here now. And thank you, everyone. Everyone was a good team. Everyone is a good network. I hope we get to keep going and know each other. And it's computers is the wave of the future, and I'm glad we know what we know. Thank you, everyone. Appreciate you.
All right. Thanks, Tim. Who'd like to say some things about Tim?
Tim, you were always super optimistic, positive, friendly, and someone that I know your work schedule, I think, kind of inhibited your ability to kind of fully be involved in this, but I have no doubt that had you had the ability to be, able and present, you would have been just as much of a leader in the class as anybody else. And I wish you the best. And if you ever, hit a wall or have a question, you can reach out anytime, man.
Thanks, Mike. Definitely, we'll call you and let you know. Thank you.
Yeah, Tim, I wanted to ditto what Mike said. And again, I noticed that you were always willing to help out. Like whenever somebody's struggling, you would always be like one of the first to just say, yeah, here, listen, let's try this. And maybe this would be another option, or maybe this is another route. And your willingness to help, that's something that I'll remember. And thank you for that.
Thank you, Adam. It was a good teammate with you. Thank you.
Yeah, Tim, I didn't get a chance to work with you that much, but the one thing I do have to say is I really appreciate that when you would ask a question, you didn't stop asking that question until you knew the answer. That's good. That's really good, and I appreciate that about you. Keep it up, because that's going to take you a long ways. So thanks for being in the class.
Thank you, Kevin. I appreciate Tim cascading. I still remember that. I still have it. Thank you.
Yeah, I was going to say something similar. You were always asking for clarification, and you didn't stop till you got that. And it also helped put pieces together for me when you did that. So thank you. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Sam. Thank you.
Yeah, I would have to agree with everyone else with your questions. That really helped me out as well when you got stuck. I thought I was like, man, I'm falling behind, and you kept on pushing, and helped me out as well, and I appreciate it.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you.
Yeah, I'd also like to say actually what everyone else already said. I appreciate how you always ask the questions, because in return, it also helped me understand it better, because I guess I have a difficult time asking questions. I don't know why, but I felt like when other people would ask them, I could be like, oh, awesome. This is something maybe I needed to learn more of or needed the clarification on. So I really appreciated that. And I liked how you're always upbeat, friendly, and yeah. And I also wish you lots of luck.
Thank you, Patty. Thank you.
Oh, I enjoyed the sarcasm and the humor, but I also enjoyed the fact that you were behind us, and I watched you come back, and I always felt better about myself because you were behind. I don't know if that's good or bad, but it helped me out.
Thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you, Brian.
It's like in basic training, you're like a week like 6 or something, and then you see some like week 1 guys, you're like, oh, we're ahead of them. You're like, okay, I'm really not that far, but y'all know what I mean. Or you'd see like you'd be like on week 6 and see somebody from like week 8 and be like, oh, tell me what happens. I don't know. Throwback. but um but yeah, anybody else want to say anything about Tim? All right, and we'll move on to Mark. Mark, it was great having you in the class. Another you seem to work really well with everybody in the groups. You get your stuff done, and do what you need to do, pick up what you needed to pick up, and it's just great having you here. And with that, I'll turn the floor over to you to say a few words.
Thank you, Brandon. I really appreciate your knowledge and taking your time and giving us teaching us this course. Really means a lot. I also want to thank that I came in this class knowing absolutely nothing about programming, and now I got I'll say a good, nice, solid foundation to help me grow. It's definitely helping out with my new job. supporting doing cyber intel, looking at some threat actors in the codes that they're writing, and really understanding this the format of understand how they're writing their format and really comprehending how it's working. So yeah, so this course really definitely helped me out to understand. And no, I really appreciate it, and looking forward to learn more about programming.
Awesome. All right, who would like to say some things about Mark?
I'll go ahead. I'd like to say that I liked your dedication. I've noticed that you've been on the road a lot, and I liked how you'd still log in and still be like participating to the best of your ability, and you picked up quick on things. And also, yeah, like when like you'd always be here too, you know, especially like I said, on the road. And I don't know too many people who'd still like go and log in if they're out and about, having to run errands, take kids to school, pick them up, and all these things. So I really admired your dedication. And yeah, of course that you stuck it through, and I wish you lots of luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, I wanted to say pretty much the same thing there. You know, Mark, I don't know how many times I'd see you log in and be like, "Hey, are you driving?" So that was the first thing I'd ask, and most of the time you would be, but you were still there. You still showed up, you know, every day. And if there was something that you know you needed to learn, and it was something that I could teach you while you were still driving, you know, that just made our days that much easier. Um, you were definitely eager to learn, and I appreciate your help in our group.
No, I appreciate it. I had to do a lot of after hours once I got home to catch up, but no, I appreciate all the help you have given me there, Kevin.
Yeah, Mark, I didn't get to work with you too much, but I just wanted to say, you know, thank you for being a part of this class, and I've got a feeling you're going to do very, very well moving forward.
I appreciate it. Thanks.
Yeah, hey Mark, good job. Your perseverance definitely had a drive, and I'm glad you're here. And congratulations.
Thank you.
I remember when I took my break and I came back and I was in the group with you, and you really helped me like catch me up to speed on what we were doing, and you took time to help me with that. And I also did appreciate how you would even like do things for class after class was over because of your schedule. So that really did show that you were committed. And yeah.
I appreciate that. Thank you also for helping me out on some of the software as well, trying to get my system back up.
Oh yeah, we tried, but
But it worked. Thanks.
All right, anybody else want to say anything about Mark? Okay, well then we will move on to Patricia. So Patricia, you always had a really kind attitude and everything. You're nice to everybody, got along with everybody, worked well with everybody. You know, you say you didn't ask a lot of questions, but I think you were able to get everything without asking a lot of questions and just listening when other people ask questions and everything. Seemed to really grasp it and got good at it. And I think you'll do great wherever you end up working. With that, Patricia, I'll turn the floor over to you.
I really enjoyed this great opportunity being part of this program for the year. And I learned a lot. I had zero experience. I still have a long way to go, basically. But like, I feel like I do know a lot more now to bore my friends and everyone who doesn't have any knowledge about technology because I like talk to people about it and they're like, oh, okay. So I like that now that I can like talk about it and I know what I'm talking about. So yeah, I learned a lot and I had a great time working with all of you. And yeah, and I'd like to thank you, Brandon, for putting this together, teaching us. And yeah, it was a great opportunity. And I'm going to miss everyone in this group. So yeah, and I wish everyone lots of luck. And wherever the future takes you, if you're going to want to work in this field or get a promotion or whatever it is, I wish you all lots of luck.
All right. Who would like to say some things about Patricia?
Thank you, Patricia. You were great. Definitely a leader too. Definitely had the female band crew with you, and I'm glad you made it here, and you're here now, and I'm proud of you. So congratulations, Patricia. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, Patricia, I was gonna say, I remember when I was at Disney World and I was working on the iLibrary, and you were right there with me, and you were working on the iLibrary website, and it was raining, and I think you mentioned you were in Daytona at the time, and I was like, oh yeah. So it was great knowing that I wasn't the only one that was giving this everything we had, and you were trying, and no matter what it was, you would always take it to the next step and the next step, and you were just processing your way through everything. And I just I'm grateful to everything that you've done, and thank you for helping me along the way.
Thank you.
Well, Patricia, I guess you made me come to work, come to class and enjoy it. And I'm glad you made it. See, all you had to do was show up. That was it, and learn.
Yep.
And it was a pleasure.
Yeah, it was really cool to see how much you grew throughout the class because we both, we both started not knowing anything, and it seems like you really, you just really took off for a while. And when you did ask questions, I could hear in your voice like the aha, like when you actually when you got it. And you would often be like, "Oh my gosh, that's so cool!" Like you seemed really excited about what you were learning. So
Thank you.
Trisha, you were always very kind, always involved in class. I don't think I ever saw any days where you weren't offering some sort of input or contribution or help to somebody. So it was nice having you in the class, and I wish you the best.
Thank you.
Yeah, Patricia, you have come quite a long way, especially in your confidence too. I know it can be daunting at first to ask questions when there's other people in the class that they know the answer, and you kind of feel alone. But you did good, and your confidence came a long way. I wanted to say you were definitely not afraid to take on lengthy tasks when I gave them to you, especially for the women's program on the MOPH website. You did all that. It's there. Everyone can see it. It looks great, and I appreciate you taking on that task.
Thank you.
I want to say thank you also there, Patricia, for working with you on those projects, and yeah, definitely picking up the slack and never giving up, especially when you're like you'll say I got this, and then when you came out. So really appreciate it. Thanks.
Thanks.
All right. Anybody else have anything to say about Patricia? No? Okay. Well, in that case, by the power vested in me through the MOPH and Writing Software Corporation, I now pronounce you all graduates. Congratulations. Great job. Year of hard work and dedication and really sticking it through. We started with what, like 32 people in this course that all said they were going to be here for the whole year too, right? So, and look at you guys, 9 of you that finally made it and stuck through it and learned what you needed to learn. Got the experience and everything. And I really liked this class. I liked everybody in it. It was good times. So yeah, but congratulations and best of luck to everybody and everything you guys will do in the future. So with that, I'm going to stop the recording.